So this is Relaxed Teams. We are Team Central Jersey. We meet every Wednesday, 8 a.m. We live stream a portion of the event. We get together and mostly we promote each other's business. That's our goal, to help each other's be found and to tell our stories. And with that, does anyone have any shout outs for anyone? I think, Tim, you mentioned you had a shout out you'd want to talk to for someone.
Yeah, a quick shout out for Paul. I was trying to deal with the WordPress thing and I just shot him a quick email and he immediately said, call me, and he talked me off the ledge. He's the man. I still got a long way to go, but I didn't jump out the window. So thank you, Paul. Sure
thing. And if you're going to jump again, you got my number now. So
thank you.
Got your back.
Don't jump, Tim.
Okay.
I got some shout outs based on, I want to have at least one one-to-one, this month with all of you. I've had great talks with Tracy so far, Janelle, Rochelle, Desiree, and Paul. I don't think I'm missing any. Oh, and George, we had a nice call. So I definitely encourage, I don't know if you guys do that often, but having a one-to-one, you really, really get to know somebody as it, really build that relationship. So, it's great to do that kind of homework in between these weekly meetings.
Two quick shout outs. One for Drew. We did meet and he's been very patient with me. We're going to do business, Drew, but Drew's been extremely patient with me in terms of me gathering the information I need. And the other shout out is for Jake. When we talk about the concept of grow each other's business, Jake knows what that means. He's been great referral and just a great guy, genuine guy. So Drew and Jake, I would recommend doing business with them to anybody.
Thanks, George.
And with
shout out to.
Oh, sorry. Good.
Shout out for Desiree. After last week's meeting, when we were in the breakout rooms, we were talking about marketing and things like that. And we were talking about warranted an offline call. And we had probably about 45-minute call in which she gave me some really great info and tips on how to market my business, and wanted to say thanks to her and shout out for that.
One last shout out to Rochelle. I don't even know where to begin with the relaxation and the what Rochelle does is, if you're having any pains, body issues at all, just I would suggest talking to her. And just quickly, one last thing, I stole Jake's idea of that. I think it's called a QR cube. What
QR code.
Yeah, QR code. I put that on my business cards, and people, I'm sure it'll lose its novelty after some period, probably quickly, but people just think it's the coolest thing in the world. So
That's awesome. I have one shout out to Lance and Karen. As you know, I've been having issues with hiring somebody. I was in kind of negotiation period with somebody I had interviewed, and Lance and Karen gave me some really good advice last week, and she ended up accepting the offer letter. So I finally hired someone. She starts next month. Yay.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
With that's a great lead in to our featured speaker, who's very busy. So Desiree, you want to, we'll give you, I guess, till about, was that 40? So 8:40.
Okay. Hi, everyone. As you know, my name is Desiree Halleck, and I own Clarence Services, which is a marketing agency for startups and small businesses. And I thought we'd just do more of a casual thing today. I took Lisa's spot. We switched. And I thought we'd talk about items that you should be thinking about for your 2022 plan if you haven't already done it, especially for small businesses and startups. A lot of people don't even have a marketing plan. So they just sort of fly by the seat of their pants, and they try to figure it out as they go along. So I'm going to give you guys a list of things that you should be thinking about for your marketing strategy. I'm going to share my screen. Can you see it?
We can.
Okay. Okay, so it's just the one slide. So we're going to go over all of these things. The first thing that I would say is to create goals. And the way you're going to do that is understand what key performance indicators or KPIs that you can use to actually measure whether you are reaching your goals. So you want to know that with your marketing strategy and implementation plan, are you actually meeting your goals? And you need it quantifiable. So things, different KPIs that you could actually use from a marketing perspective would be something like amount of contacts that you have on your list. It could be from your contacts, how many leads do you want to get out of those contacts? And then from there, it could be conversion rates. So how many of those leads are you converting into customers? And then it could also be revenue goals. And you can work backwards. So if you have a revenue goal for an annual revenue goal, you want to then break that into quarters. Then you want to break that into months. And then you want to break that down into weeks. So right now I'm working with Drew on a lot of this stuff, and it really does bring you clarity. And it's not so scary once you see, oh, okay, well, if this is my goal this week, and each, there's 52 weeks in a year, and that's going to create the success for the entire year, then I can, it's doable when you look at it from a week rather than just saying, oh my God, I have to get there in 1 year. So make sure that you break it down and don't just think, okay, by the end of the year, I have to get here. And then when you're come November, you're panicking because you didn't have a plan to actually reach those goals. So once you have that down, I would always write it down. So create a spreadsheet on Excel or something. Google or Gmail has, just do a Google Doc or something. Just make sure that you're writing it down so that you hold yourself accountable. The next thing I would say, if you don't already have one, create a brand guide for yourself. You don't necessarily have to hire somebody if you know what to do. But the reason why you need a brand guide is because you have to understand who you are as a brand and how to explain and describe the services and products that you offer. You also need a brand guide to know who you're targeting. Who is your target audience? How do you describe them? And then how do you find them? Where do they hang out? So make sure that you have a brand guide. This also helps you with a color palette for your logo, how to use your logo, making sure you don't have a dark logo on a dark background. And same with fonts, right? Like make sure that you're consistent with the fonts that you're using. So brand guides, I would say, would be the first thing that you would start with if you don't already have that. Then you want to have an updated website. You can call Paul for this because he's very good at that. Make sure that your website is updated. It is responsive for mobile because so many people use their phones these days to look up websites. So make sure that it's responsive. Make sure you have all of your contact information very easily noticeable on your site. And somehow capture leads with pop-ups that say, do you want to, sign up for a newsletter or something like that so that you can capture their information. Once you have your website, you want to make sure that you claim your Google business page. A lot of us have not done that yet, but we need to make sure we're doing that. It is free. All you need is a Gmail. And just make sure that you fill out all of the fields that you possibly can. Post events that are happening with your business. You can add your products and services with pricing if you want to. The more that you can be active on your Google business page, the better your business is going to rank. And it gives you control over the actual information that Google is pulling up about your business. So make sure that you claim your Google business page. The next thing, yep.
Desiree, can I ask a question about that?
Yes. Yeah.
You just said that to claim your Google business page, you need to have a Gmail. Does that Gmail need to be tied to your business? Like I have a Gmail account, but it's not my business email.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have to, you don't have to have a, like an @clarenceservices.com. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't have to. You don't have to
Okay.
have that. You can still claim your business. You just have to, like, you look it up on the search and then it will come up, your business, if it's a registered business. If not, then you can add it to it. But no, you don't have to have a business email for it.
Okay. Thanks.
And if you have issues, just let me know. Just like text me or something.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. So for social media, I always tell you, everybody and all my clients, you don't have to boil the ocean. You can choose your platforms because there are so many these days. You want to make sure that you're choosing the platform where your target audience is hanging out the most. It's very easy to do research on that. Just Google it and figure out the demographics of who's hanging out on which platform. And then you want to make sure that you are posting every day, post 5 days a week, good quality content that your target audience will be interested in. Make sure you're, kind of changing up the mode of your content, like add images and videos. Make sure you're always linking to your website, because in the end, that's why you're there. You want to drive traffic to your website. It's really great to have a blog. I'll talk about that in a couple more bullet points. But on social media, you can always give little teasers, like a sentence or two, and then link through to get more information on that topic. And then that will then send more traffic to your website, which is where your blog should live. So social media is very important. And make sure that your expectations are set properly for social media, because a lot of people think social media is this lead generating tool. It's not really, unless you're doing paid ads, it may be, but social media is more of that validation tool. When somebody's going to Google your name and maybe you're up against a couple competitors in your industry, and a potential customer is going to Google all of you. And if you're not on social media, or if your presence on social media is poor, and your competitors are always giving good quality content, they're showing that they're thought leaders in the field. Who would you go with, right? You're going to choose the company that has the best online presence, right? So make sure that you're adjusting your expectations for social media. Always be growing your followers. The more followers you have, the more impressions you're going to make on people. And then it's just more of a snowball effect after that. So post consistently and make sure that you're providing good quality content. The next thing is building a list and managing your leads. So you want to make sure that with those goals that you set at the beginning of the year, you want to make sure part of that is building up your contact list. But then you have to identify how you're actually going to build up that contact list. So that might be, tapping into a database like Lead 411 or Zoom Info, where you have access to millions of people. You're using filters to find your target audience, and then you pretty much pay per contact. That's one way. Another way is purchasing lists. Another way is just straight up networking, just like what we do here, maybe BNI groups, or just, trade shows are really good for that. So make sure that you have a plan and a way of managing your leads, and then add them to like a CRM so that you can actually organize them. The next thing is email marketing. So once you have a list and you've segmented your list, so you have your current customers and then you have your leads or your prospects, make sure that you are emailing them. Have a good schedule on, it could be once a week, it could be twice a month, it could be once a month, but just start somewhere and create some sort of newsletter that provides really good information. Just like you're posting on social media, you want to make sure it's good quality information that you're giving for free to your target audience, so that they, in the end, will trust you when they're ready to buy your products or services as a trusted brand, right? So make sure you're emailing. Very effective and very, very cost effective as well. The next thing you should be doing is blogging. Make sure you do some keyword research before you start your topics. There's a lot of tools for this. I use Uber Suggest. It's really great. It will give you topic ideas, keyword ideas. And just make sure that you're doing that consistently. I like to do it once a week for my clients. If you have to start with once a month, start somewhere. You don't have to, again, boil the ocean at the beginning, but you want to make sure you're starting somewhere. And blogging, another tip on blogging is it's really good to add the time it takes to read it. And I don't know if you guys notice on blogs these days that at the top, it'll say this piece will take you, 10 minutes to read or 2 minutes to read. And generally that's about 200 to 250 minutes, or I'm sorry, words per minute. So then just take your word count of your blog and divide it by 200 or 250, and then just add that to the top of your blog. And Google really likes that. They will rank a blog higher if they have that. That's a new 2022 part of their algorithms.
And
So
then
blogging.
as far as timing, that we are at the 10. So
Okay.
I want to have questions. I know people have questions.
Okay. And then just backlinks. Everyone knows what backlinks are. Just, partner with somebody in your field or that complements your services or products, and then backlink with their websites, trade links. And then I always have a follow-up plan, because you can generate a lot of leads, but then what do you do with them after? So make sure you're following up. And that's it. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one. So with social media, I know you said you always want to be linking back to your website, which is always true. But on Instagram, obviously, there's a bit of a
No links. Yeah.
discrepancy there. Yeah, so you can't really post links in the thing. Obviously, you put link in bio, but you can only put one link there. So is there any workaround for putting direct links in posts on Instagram, or is that just like a dead area?
I mean, you're not supposed to. Instagram is a lot more of a visual thing, right? So a visual platform. But I mean, you can still put your URL in there. It's just not linked. So someone, if they really want to, they can copy and paste it. So that's not but I would use your other social media platforms to actually link to you, but there really is no way around it, to be honest, not on Instagram.
Linktree was actually built for
Yeah.
Instagram, and I highly recommend Linktree. And just from our traffic, Robert Bura only has a Linktree, and it's one of the main drivers of traffic to, on an individual basis to Relax Teams. So Linktree works.
Yeah, I was going to recommend the same thing.
Nice.
Can you post on Instagram from a desktop, or it still has to be phones?
You can post from a desktop.
Like pictures from a desktop onto Instagram? Okay.
Recently,
Yeah.
Those changed a little while ago.
Okay, good. Okay.
Desiree, when you were talking about blogging, you mentioned, was it Uber Connects? What,
Uber Suggest.
Uber, UBER?
Yes. Yeah.
I put it in chat. I try to do that from now on. When people mention something, I'm trying to put it in chat.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Another quick question with blogging. I know you said you want to be giving out, like relevant information that's like, good for your clients and all that kind of stuff. With a bookstore, there's not really any educational materials or anything like that. Is there like a tip on things that are fun aside from, hey, here's what's new in the bookstore, or like, here's what sales are going on? Like,
I mean, what about like events with authors, or even ways to write books, or, like how to become an author, things like that, like, kind of branch out aside from people buying books. Think about what else would they be interested in, illustration, anything to do with writing or reading, or, that's just the top of my head right now, but
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jake, you can quote the actual book and then say, and you can have the rest of it. So
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
book
that's
has a
good.
favorite.
Quotes are great.
Quote. Just look at the famous quote from the book and put that on the on your post.
And even doing short bios about each of the authors, just like talking about their lives, and and then saying they wrote this book and this is about their life, kind of thing, right? So
good ones.
featuring authors.
Excellent, Desiree. I knew there'd be a ton of questions. That was why I wanted to make sure.
No, thank you. I know, because I wasn't looking at time.
So very good. Excellent.
Thanks, everyone.
So with that, I'll go back to sharing screen.
Dennis, are you skipping me for the?
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay,
we'll
making sure.
pull you up here, and then we'll go through. So we don't have any visitors today, but if we had visitors, they have 45 seconds to be able to present, tell everybody about who they are, what they do. Here are some of the open slots that we have available. Again, you can go out to our website and we'll have a listing of all the open slots for this team. You don't need to be in one of these professions, but if you are in one of these professions, you would fit in very well to Team Central Jersey. And with that, I'll kick it off. My name is Dennis Harabin. I am the founding partner of Relax Tax. What we do is we specialize in helping people to retain more of what they earn, as particularly with small businesses. And we do that through the use of tax insurance and debt. We found that it's not, most businesses don't have a tax problem. They have either a revenue problem or they're not using the leverage points of tax insurance and debt together. They're using them against each other. And that is one of the reasons why teams came to be, is because our clients were having revenue problems. So we are looking to help you solve whatever your needs are. So if you have any needs and we can help you out in any way that we can, Relax Tax. And next up, we have Jonathan.
All right, Dennis, you threw me off there. I'm used to going towards the end.
Sorry.
Man, I got to stay on my toes. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jonathan. I'm with Business on a Browser. Business on a Browser was created to work with small businesses to automate their processes. And we do that by leveraging tax credits that most small businesses didn't realize that they have access to or didn't realize were available to them. So essentially, it pays for the automation itself. So we work with these businesses. We understand what tax credits and incentives are available to them. We understand their current business makeup and their processes, and we help automate it for them, all in an effort to give them more time and more money. And next up is James.
And before we jump in with James, the reason Business on a Browser has moved up is because the technology behind Relax Teams is Business on a Browser technology. So Jonathan and the team, as we automate more and more of the functionality, you'll find that that is because of the technology from Business on a Browser. And next up, we have James, who isn't here today, but he is another sponsor. He is able to, what he does is specialize in small groups. When you're buying insurance, for health insurance, there are brokers who will work with you. Unfortunately, it's hard to find as a small business someone who's willing to do that. It doesn't cost anything. It's basically someone's getting paid on your insurance when you buy health insurance, and often it's just if you buy it directly from the website or wherever, there's still somewhere that's getting it. They're just not giving you the service that you deserve. So we partnered with James, so he'll help you look at the your current policies, and or if you change policies, whichever. James will help you out to establish that you get the right benefits that you need, because healthcare costs are so expensive for small businesses. Next up, we have Lisa, who I don't believe is here today. That's why we needed to do a changeover. But Lisa is with Vfinity, wellness consultant. She helps people to improve their basic health and to live longer and have an overall healthy fitness goal. Next up, we have Paul.
Good morning, everybody. Paul Talbot from Digital Maestro. We're an online website agency located here in Somerville, New Jersey, with an outreach from coast to coast and in 6 different countries. We help small businesses get the visibility online that they need and deserve. We work with new businesses just starting out that need a new website, and they want to state their presence, stake their claim on the internet, and we'll help them build that, working with all the types of things that were mentioned earlier by Desiree, and also work with companies that want to revamp or update and refresh their website. So Paul Talman from Digital Maestro, where we harmonize your online strategy. Next up is Janelle.
Hi, everyone. I'm Janelle Bingle from Uppy Dance and Fitness. And I work with imperfect people who would benefit from a fun and supportive virtual fitness community. So if you know anyone who might struggle to maintain an exercise routine, or people who could use some daily accountability as they juggle their complicated lives, you send them to me. We focus on goal setting, peaceful eating, fun and effective movement. Exercise, like working out, just doesn't always have to feel like work. And you will have support from me, exercise physiologist, and a registered dietitian. So basically, behavior change is hard, And accountability is really the secret sauce. So having someone like me in your corner is very helpful as you try to change your behavior. I am Janelle Bingle from Uppy Dance and Fitness. Jonas is next.
Jonas isn't here today, but Jonas is with Access Commercial Doors. If you have commercial hardware, especially if you're a business contractor or you know business contractors, those are good referrals for Jonas, in that Jonas works with from the pharmaceuticals to the telecom areas. When you need serious commercial dooring, Jonas and his team are the ones to reach out to. Next up, we have George.
Good morning, everyone. Caring Transitions is a team of relocation specialists. What that means is if you're selling your home, it has to be emptied of everything that's in it, all its contents. Our team will help you sort through to decide what has value and could possibly be sold. And in that case, we run estate sales for you. What might be donated, items that might be donated, and then finally what needs to be disposed of. And then we will take care of that disposal, get your home empty of all its contents and ready to put on the market. So it's George with Caring Transitions. And next up is Rochelle.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rochelle DiCrescenzo. I'm a physical therapist. My practice is The Healing Journey. I'm located in Clinton. And I specialize in a type of treatment called John Barnes myofascial release, which is a hands-on body work that looks to the whole person, the body, mind, and spirit. We try to look past the initial symptom, because it's never just a shoulder problem, just a back problem, just a hip problem. It always goes much further than that. So look at the whole body, the whole person, to try to get to the root cause. I work with patients in the office, like I said, hands-on, and then I give them things to do at home to continue their healing. And right now, through the end of January, I'm offering 20% off on my 1 hour session. So if you have any questions or want more info, visit my website or email me at Rochelle@thehealingjourneymfrpt.com. Thank you.
Next up, we have Jake.
Good morning, everyone. Jake Miola, Jake of all trades. Since I do so many things, that's why you have to go to the website. But I work with Legal Shield, which is a disruptive innovator that helps give access to the justice system for everyone. Because as we know, the Pledge of Allegiance says justice for all, not justice for those who can afford it. So by helping share the load, we now give folks access to the justice system with just a tap of their app. They have access to an entire law firm where they can ask questions, have letters written on their behalf, make sure their will is taken care of, and many other things. So reach out if you want more information about that. And also co-owner of an online second chance bookstore, royalreadersbookstore.com. Check it out today to get your next reads. And next up is Tim.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Tim Stollery. I'm a storyteller. I use images and sounds and deep research, and I'm passionate about making videos. I've been at it for a couple of years. I've won some awards, and I look forward to my next. I have a couple of small jobs, and I'm always looking for other jobs. If you know anybody who needs a video, let me know. I'll give them I'll make a great video for them. And next up is Tracy.
Actually, Tim, to use your time, I forgot to mention the shout out that I saw your video of Washington's Crossing. I went and watched that. That was a great video. Great job, sir. Little shout out for Tim. I should have mentioned it earlier, but I forgot. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, I echo that. It was really good. I enjoyed watching that, Tim. This is Tracy Spiaggia with Slingshot Health Coaching. I am a functional nutrition and lifestyle practitioner, a national board certified health and wellness coach, and Amen Clinic brain health specialist. I work with individuals and families struggling with acute and chronic mental health challenges. I'm passionate about helping people support the health of their brain because it's the organ of personality. And at the end of the day, the purpose of life is to love. And it's a very hard thing to do when we are struggling physically in our bodies. So I harness the power of family, the love that exists in family, and come around the person or persons who are struggling, and we upgrade their diet and lifestyle and thought life for that benefit. And you can find me at slingshothc.com. And up next is Candido.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Candido Rodriguez. I'm a financial advisor with Northwestern Mutual, and what we do is help business owners and families reach their goals and dreams and aspirations, making sure that their finances are aligned with those dreams and goals. We do that by helping them figure out some of the previous planning they've done. Either they have mortgages, credit cards, and a HELOC. So what we do, we bring everything together and make sure that all the pieces are working in favor of you, developing a plan that will take you step by step, rather than any that you've ever been before. We do that in whether it's in education planning to retirement, and many other sources. So next on top, it's Drew.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Drew Duraney, your cost reduction expert. My passion is to help businesses improve their financial health. Every business is overspending somewhere in their operating budget. We take care of 8 cost categories. We'll negotiate with your incumbent provider and reduce your cost up to about 30%, depending on the cost category. And, we're strictly a vendor watchdog. So we are not tied to any vendor in terms of commission or kickbacks. We strictly get paid a percentage of the savings that we find for your company. So my goal is to keep that hard-earned money back in your budget so you can reinvest it in your organization.
And it wasn't Tracy, it's actually Karen who's up. And Karen isn't here today. Karen is a health nutrition coach focusing on women's heart health. Next up, we have Lance.
My name is Lance Dunn. I'm with Keller Williams Real Estate. I specialize in residential real estate sales, and the current situation in the market right now has been the continuing story of very constrained market. And one of the things that I've been doing is working with buyers and sellers, because buyers have a hard time finding houses because of the competition. I help set them up for success to cut through all of the competition and get their offers accepted. And similarly, for the flip side with sellers who are worried about when they sell their house, where are they going to move? I help them set up their situation such that they can get into their next home without being homeless. I've not had anybody homeless yet. So my Lance Dunn with Keller Williams Real Estate, residential sales in Central New Jersey.
Excellent. And finally, we have Project Scholarship, which is a student-based project to help students go from college to classroom to career with less debt. We've actually found that we are in piloting a apprenticeship program now, which actually eliminates any need for debt. People are coming out with professional certifications from companies like Google and others, where Project Scholarship, the 501c3, is covering that cost, helping them pay. They're getting paid to learn, and we're in a pilot program and hope to have that expanded. And with that, that is the end of our live stream. Again, we welcome you to visit, join, and become part of Relax Teams. You too will be able to be featured, presented, and get to work with some wonderful people who